Americans set to pay more for cars, coffee, and clothing as average tariff rate jumps to high not seen since Great Depression. Is this good? Chat. Is this a good thing? This is a good thing, right, guys? This means that we're winning. Americans famously don't like cars or coffee or clothing. Famously, Americans hate all three of those things. Can I show you all something? This is like one of the coolest things I've seen. I feel like the early 2000s and the early 2010s had a lot of this type of hopium in them. And nowadays it's totally gone. As you can see, the leaning of this post is evidenced by the beginning of this sentence that says, a Bill Gates-backed company is now producing butter with no animals, no plants, no oils. It's made from carbon. The company is working with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers to incorporate their carbon-made butter.
Denims is streaming.
Vesh, thank you for the 5 gift subs.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia. In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like.
So margarine? No, margarine is something different.
Like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here? Replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
I want a more in-depth explanation of how they create this. This is food alchemy and I'm here for it. I'm sorry, this is so... I know a lot of people in chat are like, this is going to cause cancer, this is going to cause cancer, everyone please don't... This is so fucking cool. What are you talking about? They're just making lipids, basically? Yeah. This is alchemy, dude. This is so fucking cool. First of all, grow up. Everything else is cancer anyways. Please. Please fucking grow up. Grow a pair, okay? Grow a pair of microplastic balls. For fuck's sake.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
We're not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though we're standing in a factory setting...
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this.
And a lot of people were like, wait, isn't this just like gas? Aren't they just using oil or whatever? For the trade-off? Obviously, again. Also, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. This took me out the first time I saw it, and I forgot. Thank you. Sorry. There's something really funny about... Why is this woman so tall? About this factory that has a tub titled Slop Water. This is what, all of those YouTubers use. All the ones that, their titles are it's done. She's done. He's done. It's over. This is what they consume.
And even though we're standing in a factory...
The butter situation is insane!
...setting.
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this, right, the land footprint is 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
So it's weird, right? Anytime you create something, anytime a new technology is used or invented, there's always kind of a toss-up on whether or not it's actually greener or not. So, for example, usually it isn't. It's, again, you have to sit there and actually see the fucking reporting on it. So, for example, recycling plastic. When it comes to recycling plastic, I just want to know how they're actually making it. The explanation didn't clarify. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I haven't been able to find any fucking videos about it in greater depth. If somebody has a video on this, please. But anyways, this is cool, but it's also less impactful than vegetable and seed oils. From my understanding, it is, yes. But sorry, before I read more chat messages, let me elaborate really quickly. Recycling plastic, for example. If we could actually recycle plastic efficiently and effectively, it would absolutely be greener than just throwing it into a landfill. Obviously. How Americans used to recycle plastic. This is like the most depressing thing. If you don't know this story, I'm so sorry. I'm going to ruin your day a little bit. But the only reason we still have recycle bins in America is because legislators don't want Americans to lose the habit of separating their trash. None of it is actually getting recycled. And it's because for the longest time, from like the 2000s to like the 2015, we were sending all of our garbage to China because China had a huge surplus of labor, but it didn't have enough capital to engage in the market the way that it does now, the global market the way that it does now. And so we would send over all of our garbage to China, and China eventually, moved on up in the world as an economic leader and decided it didn't like our garbage anymore because our garbage was so garbagey. What does that mean? When we throw out like a plastic jar of peanut butter. Sorry, there's a couple things. First of all, we don't separate plastics correctly. There's low-grade plastic and there's high-grade plastic. Low-grade plastic can't really be recycled, and if you try to, it'll just like burn up. It's not possible to recycle low-grade plastic. High-grade plastic, like the stuff that maybe you use in your peanut butter jar that's nice and thick and can be reused. Unfortunately, Americans don't clean it because we were never told to clean it. We never knew that we were supposed to do that shit. So we're sending over like these dirty peanut butter jars and like jam jars and whatever else comes in plastic. And before they can recycle it, they have to clean it. So at a certain point, the extra cost and labor that comes with cleaning all of our garbage isn't worth it anymore. And there were 3 major problems. First of all, when you're trying to like figure out this equation for a greener energy or like greener habits, you're comparing and contrasting all of these things, right? So here is the negative output from just taking the plastic jar and throwing it in a landfill. And then you're comparing that to it gets used into something else, which is great, but you have to pay for like the gas that heats up the hot water that you use to clean the jar. Then you have to take into account the gas that gets used or coal that gets used, the non-green energy that gets used on the giant boats that get sent over to China. So that's even, more garbage that needs to get accounted for. And then you have to account for the factories that have to be run to be able to reuse these things. And then you have to take into account that a lot of the plastic that we were sending to China, that they got so tired of having to like sort our plastic and our garbage that they got tired of doing it and they just started low-key just like throwing it in the ocean. Which kind of made the situation worse. And so we're not even sure if the calculus added up and that we actually were doing good by recycling the plastic. And we might have just been doing the same amount of harm recycling the plastic. Because all of the different steps on the way there were bad. Yeah. Which is why we shouldn't even be using that much plastic to begin with. We should be using glass and metal. Because glass is very recyclable. Metal is very recyclable. Both of these are very easy to clean. Or like way easier than plastic. And basically all types of aluminum can be recycled. Again, plastic, low-grade plastic just can't be. The other thing with paper is another good one, but sometimes paper can get too damaged and then you run into the same problem as plastic. So yeah. What about like Japan? They separate the recycling. It's so detailed. Well, there's a couple of things that we could be doing better when it comes to like recycling and when it comes to trash. Korea has a really good policy on food waste. Instead of throwing out all of the... I think it's better to just show the video. This is something that is reasonable for us to input, or like not input, but implement. Korea compost. This would be relatively easy for America to implement, and it would actually lead to a significant decrease in our footprint. But of course, America sucks, so why would we ever? This shit's cool as shit. Okay. Enough of the intro.
Recycling is a way of life. Items made from plastic, glass and metal, as well as food waste, all have their own bins. Lee So-eun starts sorting her food waste while she prepares a meal for her family.
I separate different vegetables because potato peels go in the food waste.
Oh, thank you
but
for the
onion
link.
skins belong with the
Yeah.
general waste.
Same in Norway, we separate everything to a stupid degree, and then it's all mixed together in the machines that can't separate the 5,000 different variants of plastic, not to mention metals, plastic, cardboard, hybrids. Yep.
It was difficult at first, so I used a printed chart to help me do it properly. Now I can remember where about 80% of my food waste should go.
She disposes of nearly 6 kilograms of food in the bins just outside her building every week.
I'm going to throw away my food waste. I tap my card here, and it opens. Oh, it seems pretty full. I throw away my waste like this.
I'm not gonna lie, the fact that she opened it and it was full was kind of disgusting. That's kind of putrid.
To close the bin lid, I use my card again. I'm very careful about the amount of food waste we generate because we have to pay a fee based on weight. Housewives are very careful about reducing household expenses. For example, I drain all of the water from the food waste to make it lighter.
South Korea's government would like to use these intelligent containers throughout the country. For now, though, most people have to buy special bags for biodegradable waste. That includes this restaurant, where the meal includes lots of small side dishes.
These dishes are very traditional. Here we have a savory pancake and pickled vegetables from Jeju Island.
Oh my god, I'm getting hungry looking at this.
And these are sautéed peppers with small fish.
Korean
That seems dumb. It would incentivize people to throw it in the garbage. Yeah, but you would get fined for that.
cuisine features a wide range of small dishes known as banchan to accompany the main meal. At the end of the service, many of the dishes are left uneaten. This is the norm in most of the country's restaurants.
My god, I want some banchan so
We
bad.
separate the food waste and throw it away here.
Give me all of it. I know.
Once the service is over, we put the waste in a bin outside. We put this sticker on the bin to prove that we paid the fee. Then the garbage collectors come and take it away.
South Koreans throw away nearly 5 million tons of food a year, but all that food isn't really going to waste. The country's recycling rate is almost 100%. Leftovers are processed at plants like this one located east of Seoul. Here, the waste is turned into animal feed.
Here we store food waste in tanks. Then all these leftovers are put into grinding machines. There we remove other items to ensure only food waste is left. The waste is then sent to drying machines. Some of the end product is sent to chicken and duck farms, while the remainder goes to plants that make animal feed. Our facility processes 3,300 tons of food waste a day.
It gets turned into Twitter posts.
This Environment Ministry official is meeting factory managers to better understand how it operates. The government's been involved in the food recycling process for almost 20 years, a hands-on approach that costs the country nearly 700 million euros a year.
For the Environment Ministry, reducing food waste is crucial. Today we are transforming.
Okay. What I was trying to explain, though, is that even if you don't fine these people, even if you don't include like a fee for special food waste or whatever, just getting people to do this at all and then having the food be used for compost or having, because like food waste is very different from like plastic or like cardboard or, you know, things that are not reusable, things that are not organic. Organic things at least can be used for compost. Like, that's so fucking dope. There is no reason that we shouldn't be doing this shit. We don't pay a fee in the UK. Like, we don't have to charge anyone to do this. We just don't. They do it because, like, how do I say this? American culture is very wasteful about everything. And I have found that this is not the case with a lot of other countries and a lot of other cultures. Americans love consumerism and they love fucking waste. Like, it's not a point of pride for Americans, but it's definitely not a point of shame. Whereas it feels like a lot of other countries feel shame about waste, which makes it easier to charge for waste because people are incentivized to be less wasteful. But even if we don't include that part into our fucking version of this process, if we could just get every single person, but mostly companies, to compost their food, that's already a huge chunk of waste and like garbage that goes into a landfill for no reason. That's what I mean when I talk about, like, I love the science shit, dude. I love this shit so bad. Okay, back to the fake butter.
I know what you're thinking. I think we need to taste it.
I would love for you to taste this.
How does it taste?
I love butter, so I'm gonna take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter.
Cheers. It tastes like butter.
Another reason they say this makes an impact, no palm oil, a significant contributor to deforestation and climate change. That's not all. Of the 51 billion tons of greenhouse gases emitted every year, 7% is from the production of fats and oils from animals and plants. So when could you get a taste yourself? Right now, they're working directly with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers, releasing these chocolates made with their butter in time for the holidays.
Savor butter in either its current manifestation or with our partners, we expect that to be on the shelves kind of more like around 2027.
Their teams here in Batavia, Illinois, and their
It's palm oil butter? No, they just said there's no palm oil in it.
home lab base in San Jose, California, backed by Bill Gates, who wrote in his blog, quote, "The idea of switching to lab-made fats and oils may seem strange at first, but their potential to significantly reduce our carbon footprint is immense. Believing butter can make a difference."
Dude, this shit's so fucking cool. Red flag, stop. Stop, dude. Dude, stop. You can't just say, this is so, okay, listen, we can all hate Bill Gates without becoming fucking right-wing conservative freaks that are like, oh, well, Bill Gates is for vaccinations. Population culling theory real. Dude, if you're a company that wants to fucking make some crazy fake alchemy butter and Bill Gates is like, I'll give you my money, you're like, oh man, I don't want to take pedophile money, but like, I want to make my alchemy butter. I want to make the butter that spits in the face of God. Yeah, okay, hand it over. Come on, just give me the money. I want to make this butter. I tried to cut out palm oil a while back, but it's in fucking everything. Yeah. Dude. If this reduces the amount of animal torture and abuse, then sure, it doesn't matter how much cancer it causes. Butter from animals is already major. I mean, everything, again, like I said, everything's fucking cancerous. I'm just more impressed by the literal alchemy. That they're like, dude, we'll just, butter is just like, it's just lipids. We'll just make it. We'll just fucking make it. It's like, what do you mean you'll just make it? What the fuck? I'm down. I want to try the fucking transmutation butter. Would you try lab-grown meat? Are you kidding me? I am waiting for... Give me all the lab-grown meat. Please give me all the lab-grown meat. Please. When life gives you cancer, you make cancer aid. Is lab-grown pork still haram? Now that's a good question. That's a good question. Queso said he doesn't like real beef for burgers. He only likes fake burgers. What the fuck? Ew. The hell's wrong with him, huh? I thought we already had lab-grown meat already. Impossible Burger. Impossible Burger, that's not lab-grown meat. That's plant-based meat. It's plants. It's like soy or whatever pretending to be meat. Lab-grown meat is like, imagine cloning a cow. You're like creating the same structures. So it's exactly the same. Like it's the same shit. Like it's literally the same, indistinguishable. It's just one of the, compare it to like, okay, I got it. It's like actual animal cells. Yeah. Sorry. The best way to explain it as an analogy, you know how you have like diamonds that people have to fucking mine out? They're like the child slave labor diamonds that, you know, what is it? It's just like a bunch of pressure that turns the carbon over the course of like hundreds of years into a diamond. And then you have like fake diamonds that are just like plastic or quartz. Right? It's not a real type of it's not a real diamond. Like the structure, on the atom level, it's not an actual diamond. It's like there's real diamonds that are in mines that you can mine out. Minecraft reference, let's go. And then there's fake diamonds that are just like plastic or quartz or whatever. And then there's lab-made diamonds that are exactly the same as real diamonds, but they're just made in a lab with like what? Faster pressure that turns the carbon into a diamond like 10 times faster. Lab-grown meat is the same as that. Lab-grown meat is still based off of like, it's made from animal cells and then it's created into a steak that's an actual steak that's not made out of like soy and jackfruit or whatever. So it will taste exactly the same. It is structurally the same. It is the exact same product, but no suffering. Why plastic or quartz?
The meat of the future.
Plastic is nothing like quartz. Dude, you get the point that I was trying to make. Why the jackfruit hate? Jackfruit type.
Will likely be lab-grown. Compared to our conventional methods of getting meat on the table, lab-grown meat, which debuted in 2013, doesn't involve slaughtering of animals, nor does it require as many environmental resources. Compared to other livestock, raising cows require 28 times more land and 11 times more water. The World Wildlife Fund adds that beef production drives 25% of global land use and forestry emissions. And in the near future, lab-grown meat is going to be cheaper, faster, and more environmentally friendly to
Diamonds naturally occurring aren't even that rare. Also true. It's just fake pricing.
produce for our growing population. But how exactly does one grow meat in a lab? The process isn't as weird as you might think. Currently, the most successful method involves harvesting stem cells from cows. Stem cells are the building blocks of essentially everything, from muscles to organs, from which muscle tissue is harvested from the live animal in what is said to be a harmless, painless procedure. The tissue is made up of muscle and fat cells, which the scientists separate from one another. What we need are the muscles, which are then dissected and cultured. Cell culturing is where a cell is removed from a plant or animal and then put into a favorable artificial environment, usually some type of substrate that supplies essential nutrients like amino acids and carbohydrates to grow. All it takes is just one
can you believe all this science shit just because cows be farting?
Singular muscle stem cell to grow up to 1 trillion muscle cells. The newly grown muscle cells naturally merge together to form tiny myotubes, which are then placed in a ring. The muscle cell's tendency to contract frequently causes them to grow into a small strand of muscle tissue. The muscle tissue tubes are then layered together to form a hamburger shape. One muscle cell has the potential to turn into 1 trillion muscle tissue strands, which is a lot of burgers. The lab-grown hamburgers don't quite look like normal hamburgers and are much paler in color and blander in taste. But as scientists point out, that blander taste is a fair trade for an efficient way to create protein and feed the world's growing population. The price of lab-grown hamburgers has already dropped from $325,000 to just over $11 per patty. While it is still pricey compared to a Big Mac, which costs $4.79 on average, the price will likely drop in the future as production methods are streamlined, meaning that more likely than not, lab-grown meat will be on your dinner plate in the near future.
And I will die on this hill. The problem with plant-based burgers has never been the flavor. It's literally always been the texture. So if the texture is right, dude, just put some fucking seasoning on that bitch. You kidding me? Also, where can you get a Big Mac for less than $5? Real. Man, this video might be old. This video is 9 years old. This video is 9 years old. All right, that video is 9 years old. The real question? Dude, I saw that fucking agent clip where he was, he's like, Kaya can't eat this. It's haram, and it's like cooked pork in Minecraft.
Is eating pork on Minecraft haram? Look, man, you guys are asking these questions, and the non-Muslims are coming here like, what kind of religion is this that they can't even eat pork in a game? Look, you're not supposed to enjoy something that's haram even virtually. So if you're gonna just eat it just because like, yo, it's just food, you need to like get your character to get more health, just do it, man. Don't think too deep, all right? But if you're gonna like, oh, pork, oh my God, I get to eat pork, and then it leads you to like loving pork and then ordering a double bacon cheeseburger, that's haram, all right? So just, you know yourself, man, leave me alone.
That's so good, dude. It's the leave me alone at the end. It's so fucking amazing, bro. Oh God. I think he said it's okay. You can tell this isn't the first dumb question he's had to answer. Yeah. I mean, that's solid. That's fucking solid there. That's fucking solid stuff. The primary reason is just to avoid temptation, but if you're just doing it as like a way to like progress in the game, it's fine. Real. Oh, sorry. The reason I was showing the lab-grown butter thing, besides the, well, not lab-grown butter, it's like carbon butter. The reason I was showing it, besides being really cool, I want to show this. Disgusting. They're combining hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen to create fat molecules and then manipulate that to make it taste like butter. Why do this when we already have butter? They explained it in the video, which was only 3.5 minutes long. I understand that's a long time for a conservative to fucking watch an entire video, but did you consider for just a moment, for just a second of a second, a fraction of a second, just really quickly, okay? The fucking carbon footprint of having a bunch of cows farting. It's like, can you imagine if we have like the child crushing machine, but like every child that gets crushed, you know, like, I don't know, we prevent a meteor from hitting Earth. And it's like, well, we need the carbon, we need the child crushing machine. It's the only thing saving our planet. And then someone invents a way to do this that doesn't involve crushing children. And they're like, we don't need that. We already have the very good child crushing machine. Hello? God forbid we try and have things that cause less suffering. God forbid. Are you vegan? No. Unfortunately, no. I'm an immoral piece of shit. Also, this guy's talking about butter like it just falls out of a cow. Yeah. Also, like, can we just talk about the fact that butter is on its own? Listen, it's delicious and I love it, but it's also fucking gross. Like the process. Like we were fucking shoving a bunch of cows into fucking cages and then milking them. And then turning that shit like... Also, yeah, Chef Andrew Gruel. Dude, we got so many good things. Slop water, Chef Andrew Gruel. That's amazing. That's amazing. Wait, why are you putting your cows into cages? I mean, I'm not the one fucking doing it. The factory farmers are doing it. Did the person who wrote in chat wish that were me? Get help. Get help.